What's up guys, David and Luke here, and today we're going to do a comparison between the three consoles here. This is just going to be our thoughts. I've done a video on the Xbox Series X, I did one on the Stadia, and we've done one on the PlayStation 5. We were lucky enough to be able to get an Xbox and a PlayStation 5, which I talk about in the other videos. We're just going to kind of go through and kind of give you our thoughts on these things. We don't know everything, but this is just sort of our opinions, and I know if we feel a certain way, probably other people feel that way too. So, which console do you want to start with?
PS5.
PS5, all right. So what are some good things about the PlayStation 5?
It has good graphics on any game.
Yeah, I agree. PlayStation 5, you know, plugged it into my 4K TV downstairs. Fantastic graphics.
Especially on Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, we got Spider-Man Miles Morales, and it looks great. Really had no complaints about that game. Everything that we've played looks great on the PlayStation 5, and even the old games, when you load them on the PlayStation 5, they load faster, look fantastic. I had a pro of PlayStation 5 as being the great graphics as well, and also the great loading times.
Another good thing about it is you can actually use the headset.
Yes, okay, all right. So I have an old Turtle Beach headset. I don't know if it's just because it's an old headset or not, but when I plugged it into the Xbox, it did not work. I could hear the game through it, but it would not pick up my voice. Even though the headphones themselves, when I spoke, it wouldn't pick up my voice. Plugged it into the PlayStation, worked right out of the box, no problems. So that's one thing I had listed as a PlayStation 5 Pro. Maybe it was user error, maybe a newer headset would work better with the Xbox, but I can just tell you right out of the box, it worked on the PlayStation 5.
It also works on the PlayStation 4.
Yep, same situation. It worked right out of the box on the PlayStation 4 too. Did it work on the Xbox One, do you remember?
I don't think so. If it doesn't work on that one, it probably doesn't work on the Xbox One.
I don't think it worked right out of the box on that one either. It's been a while since I've used that one, but. So yeah, you have any other pros for the PlayStation 5?
Well, this one isn't on here, but I really like how it has Spider-Man Miles Morales on it.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the differences here, and Sony has been doing this for a few generations now, they have really good exclusives, or at least, you know, Xbox has exclusives, but the exclusives that PlayStation comes up with, I really enjoy. The newest one, which Luke really likes, is Spider-Man Miles Morales. But, you know, like Horizon Zero Dawn, last generation, I really liked that one. The Last of Us series, really like that. So that's just one thing to consider. Now, Xbox is gonna have, you know, your Halo, your Gears of War, a lot of shooters, you know. But in terms of exclusive properties, PlayStation sticks out in my mind. And so we like the exclusive games there.
And there's one more thing about this that I like, the texture on the inside. If you look really close, there's a bunch of circles, triangles, and squares all inside.
Yeah, that's very true. I actually saw that on someone else's video. I can't remember whose it was, but if you look in the inside here, there's the button shapes are on the texture, or they make up the texture on the inside of the PlayStation there, which is pretty cool. Luke likes the design of the PlayStation. I personally like this design. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and more boring now, but I like the look of this tower. I like how it's just square, it's just basic, very minimal. Luke likes the design of this. You know, if you look at it, clearly they've tried to make more of a statement with the design of the controller and the console versus this.
And it feels a lot more put together.
Yeah, you like the feel of it.
Yeah.
I actually prefer the feeling of holding this controller better, but the vibration in this controller is just basic vibration. Whereas this controller, as you may have read or heard, has a whole different haptic feedback system inside. It can make it feel like, what are some of the feelings it did on the game you played? There's a robot game you can play.
It actually, when I held it, it actually felt like I was him. Like I was jumping.
Mm-hmm.
Like the electricity from the controller was moving in my body to make it feel like that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so whatever vibration technology they use on that controller, it's haptic feedback as I understand it. It makes the action that's happening on the screen feel like it's happening in your hand. And in addition to that, one of the coolest things are these triggers. There's a mechanism in there that can actually provide some resistance, and I'm not just talking about just like spring-like resistance. They can make like trigger points where you actually have to push past and it'll snap by, and you can, I know with certain guns in Call of Duty it'll do it. I play No Man's Sky a lot, and when you take off with your ship, you have to snap past a point, and you can feel it, your ship starting to throttle up, and then your ship will take off. So Sony really tried with this controller. It's very obvious that they tried to update the controller and give you a new experience there.
And I'm very glad that it's not battery operated.
Yeah.
Because on that controller, you just have to keep getting batteries.
Exactly. Yeah.
But this is a rechargeable one. We have the plug for it downstairs.
Exactly. This comes with a USB-C plug, so it's rechargeable, just like Sony's been doing for like 2 generations now. This one, still the same battery deal, which, you know, the batteries have lasted a while. I will have to say they lasted almost a month with one set of batteries, but you will have to either get a charging pack or a new set of batteries. It's just weird that they're still doing it that way. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. There might be a good reason I'm not thinking about, but I do prefer having a rechargeable controller. Anything else you can think of? Let me look at some of my pros here. Great graphics. Loading times are great on both systems. The exclusives, I have to give it to Sony. One thing we haven't talked about yet is with Luke and I wanting to put up some YouTube videos, you could not stream to YouTube from this. We would have to stream to Twitch and then put the video up on our YouTube channel. Whereas PlayStation, all I have to do is start the stream and it goes straight to YouTube. So it's much easier. And so we have a headset we can speak into with PlayStation, and we have YouTube streaming right out of the box. It saves a whole lot of time. And I know Luke likes to stream. He was streaming, what were you streaming? You were streaming Spider-Man Miles Morales.
And that robot game, if you watch the unboxing video, was it on the unboxing video?
We did it shortly after. Yeah, about the same day we put our PlayStation unboxing video up, there was another video of Luke playing the robot. What is it, like Astro?
It's Astro's Playroom.
Astro's Playroom. Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna have to give the controller to PlayStation. We're gonna have to give the streaming and the headset to PlayStation. We're gonna have to give the exclusives to PlayStation. What did you have as some pros of Xbox?
It has Roblox.
That was one of the big things, you know, Luke and kids his age, they like to play Roblox. You can play it on the iPad too, but it is nice to have a console with the really powerful graphics and everything to play it on TV.
But there is one downside to having Roblox on that.
What's that?
Some of the games just kick you out, and sometimes it's too powerful for the game, so whenever you get in the game, it freezes.
Really?
You can't do anything because the Xbox is too powerful for it.
Interesting, but it works on your iPad?
Yeah.
I think I read at one point that you have to add Xbox compatibility for some Roblox games for them to work. So maybe that's part of the problem. I'm not really sure, but that was one of the reasons that we got this, was that you could play Roblox on it as well. But apparently it doesn't work with all games. That's new to me. What else do you think?
Well, I'm glad that it has Doom Eternal because that's a really fun game.
Yeah. So one of the first games we got on Stadia when we were playing it was Doom Eternal, and we got the Xbox shortly after, and Doom Eternal was on the Games Pass. So I was able to get Doom Eternal on the Games Pass without having to pay for it. Well, paying for the Games Pass, but really fun game. Doom Eternal is an awesome game. But that brings me to the next point, which is the Games Pass on Xbox is fantastic. A ton of games come with it. You get that Games Pass Ultimate. You know, you basically have Xbox Live, all these games.
And I'm pretty sure you actually get Secret Neighbor with it.
Secret Neighbor, yeah. He likes the Hello Neighbor series. Hello Neighbor 2, Secret Neighbor.
I I actually got early access to Hello Neighbor 2 on the computer.
That's right. Yeah, we checked that out too. Yeah, and is that the one that's on here now?
No, that's
that
Hello Guest. That's the pre-alpha. That's like the what is the word? The prequel to Hello Neighbor 2.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. So that's one thing to think about is like if you're just wanting to play Windows games, you don't even necessarily need this console. You could technically sign up for Xbox Live or whatever the Game Pass is on your computer and access all those same games. You might even be able to just use an Xbox controller and play. So I think that's one thing Microsoft's trying to do is they're trying to make their service very ubiquitous, just everywhere, accessible from everywhere. Even working on streaming from what I've been reading as well. Whereas PlayStation seems to be doing more of the experience of like, they want you to buy their console, they want you to sit down in a traditional console way and play.
The only thing that I have for cons on this console are the graphics being a little bit blurry. So,
On Xbox?
Yeah.
Which games were they blurry on?
Like the Secret Neighbor game.
You felt like it was a little bit blurrier?
Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, but Luke felt like they were a little bit blurry on Secret Neighbor. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. So that brings me to another point. Like one of the cons that I had with the Xbox was that I'm not really a virtual reality gamer. Haven't really bought any of the VR equipment, but this doesn't have, as far as I know, this doesn't have any virtual reality options right now. Whereas you can still use PlayStation virtual reality with the PS5. You do have to go through a couple extra steps, but you can still use the VR on there. So that's one possible downside. We really haven't even talked about Stadia that much.
Yeah.
What do you think about Stadia?
Well, I'm glad it has Doom 64.
Yeah, we bought Doom 64 on it. So my pros for Stadia, first of all, in my opinion, this is the way the future is going to be right here. It's not quite there yet, but I do think this will be the future. I really like the fact that you can just buy this and plug a Chromecast up to the back of your TV and then have all the games. You don't have to have any hardware. You don't have to download anything. It's all right there. But there's not a ton of games for Stadia yet. And the big thing is, if your internet is not just running smooth as silk, you're gonna have problems. You can't play your games.
So that's why I put that as my con.
Yeah.
It says it glitches a lot, because if your internet's not that good, it will just kick you out of the game.
100%.
And
Yeah.
then each time you get in the game, it will kick you out quicker.
Yep. There's been a couple of times when Luke and I sat down and we were going to do some gaming, and we were not able to get on Stadia for whatever reason. Now we have Charter Spectrum internet. Last time I did a download test, it was between like 300 and 400 megabits per second and over 20 megabits upload speed. So we have pretty good internet by most standards, and you would have thought it would have worked.
And another thing good about Stadia is it actually has Little Nightmares too.
Yeah. So, with Luke, when Luke considers what gaming systems he wants, he's going to want to play the gaming systems that have the games he wants to play, which makes the most sense. He likes Doom Eternal, so that makes him like both of these. Doom Eternal is also on there, but we haven't bought it yet. But we have access to Doom Eternal on these two right now, so he likes playing these two for that.
And the good thing is, that has one of the games I like, that has one of the games I like, and that has one of the games I like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what makes the choice so hard, because if you think about it, most of the people that I know will buy the Xbox because they're Xbox gamers. So if I want to play with my friends, I'm gonna get this. This has tons of games for the Games Pass, and it has backwards compatibility, which I didn't mention. You can play all the previous games, most all the previous games on this system as well. So if I'm just wanting to get with my friends and sit down and play some games, some shooters like a lot of people play, this is the system for me. If I want to not worry about downloading, updating, and just get online and play some cool games on my TV without any hardware, this is the system I'm gonna get. If I wanna stream, if I wanna listen through a headset and I want some good exclusive games, this is the console I'm gonna get. So they've really done a good job of separating the pros and cons between the three to where I could make a case to owning all three of these. But that brings us to our final question, which is, what is your favorite console right now?
Well, mine is the PS5.
Here's the PS5. You know, I think I have to agree with you. Right now, the PlayStation 5 is my favorite. And I would say it's my favorite because it has the exclusive games I like to play. It lets me use a headset and stream right out of the box, and the controller is the best of the three, in my opinion.
And it's not much bigger than the Stadia controller or the Xbox.
Nope, not at all. It's a great system. They did a good job with it, and it feels like a next generation machine purely because of the controller. Whereas the Xbox feels like a more powerful version of the last generation, which is good. I feel like we passed a point with the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 where the games pretty much feel the same. They're just a little bit higher definition as time goes by. Okay, now in the future, which gaming system do you feel like will wind up being the best?
Well, they'll probably have some newer game systems, but aside from that, I'd probably still say PS5.
Yeah.
Because that would still probably be glitchy unless they did something to fix it. And I don't know that's gonna happen, so I'm still gonna say this.
I've been reading that they're planning on updating some of this hardware. If this hardware updates and if the glitchiness and the internet issues, which it might have been my internet and it might have not been Stadia that was the problem, but if these issues get ironed out, I'm gonna put my hat here as this is the future. If they can get the games so that that are competitive with these systems. Right now, the games library is not competitive with these systems, and if your internet goes down, you're in trouble. So this is my console for the future. This is my console for now. What do you think we should do with this one?
I think once we finish Doom Eternal, we should sell it.
All right. We may be selling this guy, even though he looks the best, in my opinion, but we'll see.
He does look pretty good.
I like the look of him, but we'll see where it goes, you know. Like I say, there's a case to be had for all three. But we appreciate you folks watching. If you have any questions, please let us know, and we can try to do a video responding to them. You know, we have to make everything work with Luke's school and everything like that, so thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe on the channel, and we'll try to put out some more content. Thank you very much.